taking on the Indian Tigress Ritu Phogat in a very exciting atomweight MMA clash. The timing for these athlete interviews are up on your screen, and we are super excited to get this one started. To the media just joining us, to ask questions, please raise your hands on Zoom, and when we call out your name and publication, you may then proceed to ask your questions. I repeat, please raise your hands on Zoom, and when we call out your name and publication, you may then proceed to ask your questions. Now, without further ado, we're going to bring out our first athlete of the day, the MMA sister, Lin Heqin. Lin will be joining us very shortly with the translator. Incredible fight card we have for you, July 30th. For the Strawweight Muay Thai World Championship, Gaiyanghadao, the legend himself, will take on Prajanchai PK.Saenchai Muaythaigym. We also have the former Division 1 world champion, the Burmese Python Aung versus the multiple-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion, Leandro Ataides. Lin Heqin takes on the Indian Tigress Ritu Phogat. We also have Victoria Lee coming back for her second match in one championship. We now have Lin Heqin joining us. Thank you for joining us, Lin.
Hello.
Hello. Lin, we have some questions from media all around the world. I'm going to read out the first one to you, okay? Our first question is from Tom Taylor of Bleacher Report. And the question is this: what's your opinion of the Atomweight Grand Prix? Were you disappointed that you weren't selected?
Hello， 林和琴，我是 Tiffany， 我今天帮你做翻译，你听得到我的声音吗？听得到。好的，刚刚主持人问你说，因为这一次你对现在原子量级的看法是什么？那你对于没有被加入那个女子8人赛，你会感到失望吗？还好吧，因为最早也问过我要不要加我说我觉得以我的战绩应该不需要吧，我就可以直接挑战李胜珠的，直接可以挑战金腰带。Okay, I think right now all the atomweight division in one championship, they are all powerful girls. They are very capable and very skillful. And as for the Grand Prix, I know I'm not part of it this time, but I don't feel disappointed because actually one championship has asked me if I have interest to be part of it. But I said, no, I have no interest at all because I know my incredible winning streak before, do all the talk. So I think I got the power to go directly to challenge Angela Lee to get a belt.
Thank you for that. We're going to open up the floor to the media now. Our first question will go to Dylan Bowker of My MMA News. Dylan, please go ahead.
Hey there, appreciate you guys making some time. I was just curious because I was noticing it's closing in on 2.5 years since Lin last competed there, but it seems like maybe the time off facilitated healing some injuries. I'm kind of wondering how Lin is feeling overall heading into the one circle after this hiatus here.
那个林和琴，因为这一次你已经2年多没有比赛了嘛，那之前是因为有受伤的关系，所以这2年多没有比赛。那这一次比赛的话，你整个人感觉状况如何？那一些受伤的情况都好了吗？受伤恢复都很好了，然后状态也超级棒。Yeah, I got a very good recovery from the past 2 years, and I think all my injuries are all getting well, and now I'm doing good. I got a very good physical fitness, and I'm all prepared.
And I'm curious because with a win here, that'll make it a 12-fight win streak, and you talk about wanting to hold out to fight Angela Lee for the title, but also just, very active in prior years. I'm kind of wondering, is there this idea of hold out for the title shot should you get a victory here, or would you stay active should it be a little bit for Angela Lee to get back to the one circle?
因为之前你有连续大概11、12场连胜嘛，那这一次你觉得这一场胜利的话，就是如果你接下来这场比赛胜利的话，你觉得你就可以直接挑战李胜珠了吗？那你接下来的话会想要一直保持这种比赛的状态吗？没有像之前这样停这么久吗？
对，接下来打算就是希望多一些比赛，然后就是我也会把自己状态调到最好最棒，就是避免自己因为受伤，然后再让比赛推迟啊或者怎么样，然后也是希望能多打一些比赛，然后尽快挑战金腰带。
Yeah, as you said before, I got a 12 winning streak. So yeah, it's a very good record for me. And I know I haven't fought for the past 2 years. So yeah, I've been keep training myself in the past 2 years. So yeah, I'm doing very good right now. So I'm eager to get the title shot. And of course, I want to stay active. From now on, I want to get as many fights as possible. So just go fight Angela Lee. That's my only wish right now.
Thanks for the time, Lin, and thanks for taking my call, guys.
谢谢你。
谢谢。
Our next question will go to Andrew Whitelaw of Whitelaw Sports. Andrew, please go ahead.
Hi, Lin. I'm interested to know what you think of your opponent, Ritu Phogat. She had a wonderful start to her career, but her last fight didn't go her way. What do you make of her?
这一次你要打是瑞图，那你对于瑞图有什么样的看法？尤其是他上一场比赛输了，你对瑞图了解多吗？
也是，最早也是因为通过电影就《摔跤的爸爸》就印象很深刻，因为当时我看完电影也是哗的哭，然后就是通过电影也能知道他的不容易，然后他的优势也很明显，就是摔跤好嘛，对，然后对于他的优势也做过一些针对性的训练了，我觉得我们没有问题。
OK， 好。Yes, I watched the movie Django before. That's where I learned her story from the movie. And I know that's a very touching movie. It's really moved me. After the movie, I cried a lot because we are all fighters. And I know she's a very famous wrestler, and her family and they put a lot of hard work on the wrestling sport. So in this upcoming event, for sure, we will present a very good fight. Ritu is a great wrestler. So I've been practicing takedown defense, and I'm gonna avoid her double leg takedown.
Thank you for your question, Andrew. We now have some questions from the Chinese media. I'm going to read them out to you. This one is from Gaiyanghadao. The question is this: you haven't fought for 2 years, but this time you're going to go against one of the rising stars of the promotion, Ritu Phogat. Do you and your team think it would have been better for you to fight someone with not that much of a profile first instead of Ritu?
这一次你要打是瑞图嘛？那因为毕竟你2年没有打了，然后瑞图现在其实算是还蛮有名气有点大，打的也不错。那你跟你的团队会觉得说，是不是在你2年后没有打比赛之后，应该先不要打瑞图，先去打其他人比较好一点？你怎么看？
我名气也不差呀，我在中国名气也不差呀，所以我不觉得自己比他差很多或怎么样，我觉得我自己没有问题啊。就是赛事方安排我打谁我就打谁。
Yeah, I know Ritu is very famous. She's a rising star, but I got to say, me, Lin Heqin, is a rising star in Chinese too. I think I'm very famous too. I'm a famous fighter in China. So I think it's a good fight, a good matchup for both of us. And of course now I can fight anyone. Like I said before, I'm in a good shape. I'm very powerful right now. So I can fight anyone. That's one championship matchup for me.
Yeah, I believe her. This one is a follow-up question from Gaiyanghadao. And the question is this: a lot of fans are really looking forward to this fight since you haven't fought for a long time. Do you feel extra pressure? And how do you cope with that pressure?
这一次很多粉丝都很期待你的比赛，因为你已经2年都没比赛嘛。那你会觉得压力很大吗？那你怎么去面对你的压力？有什么话想对你的粉丝说的吗？
压力啊，我觉得还好吧，可能就有2年多没有比赛，然后觉得有点 对于粉丝全迷的愧疚啊，就是然后他们也没有放弃我，然后在这2年也一直在给我加油啊，然后给我打气，然后我现在能比赛，我其实现在就是很兴奋、很激动的，所以我也希望在赛场上能表现更好吧。
Yeah, to be honest, I don't feel that pressure because I'm so excited right now. Like everyone knows, I haven't fought for 2 years, so I'm very excited. I can wait. And I want to thank you all my fans for all the support for the past 2 years. And I'm sorry that I'm not fought for a long time because of my injury. Even though even all the situations, but my fans still follow me and be my cheerleaders. So now I finally get a fight. I promise all my fans I will present a very fantastic fight that night.
We have this next question here from MMA Mania, Jesse Holland with this question. What do you think are her strengths and weaknesses, and how do you match up against her?
你觉得瑞图的强项跟弱点在哪里？那你这次怎么样准备去对付他这样子？
他的强项太明显了，就是摔跤好吗？然后弱点的话，可能会站立上拳腿会差一些，但是我看了他这2年的进步也是很大的，所以我也不会掉以轻心，就是我还是会很认真的去对待吧，就是不会轻敌。对。
好，我也是你。Okay, of course, Ritu have got a very obvious advantage. She's a tremendous wrestler. She's really good at takedown technique, and she has very powerful double leg takedown. And I think for her weaknesses, I think it's her stand-up fighting skills. I bet she is not that good at stand-up fighting skill, but I have been watching her. I have been observing her. I think she has do a lot of improvement in her stand-up fighting. So yeah, I will be careful about that.
We're going to open up the floor. This question will go to Jack Gottsell of Tarps Off Sports. Jack, please proceed.
With Victoria Lee being on the card, you know Angela Lee will be watching. Does that make you excited to try to make a statement in this fight?
那个这一次Victoria 就是那个李胜珠的妹妹李胜惠，她也有参加比赛了。那而且跟你在同一张战卡上面，那等于说李胜珠一定会看嘛，那他会看这场比赛，等于说他也会看到你比赛，会让你觉得说特别兴奋嘛？因为李胜珠也要看这场比赛了，那他可能会看到你厉害的一面。你的想法怎么样？
你不告诉我，我还真不知道他可能会来，但是也没有什么太大的想法吧。我觉得我就做好我自己的就好。如果真的有一天我要跟他对战了，那我也会尽全力的去备战。对。
Okay, thank you for telling me this information. To be honest, I didn't pay a lot of attention on Victoria because right now I only focus on my fight. No matter Victoria Lee or her sister or anyone else who watching this fight, I just do myself. I just be myself. I just be flexible and enjoy the fight.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for that question. Our next question here is from the Thai media, Thai Ruth. What are your weapons for this fight to compete with her?
这一次你有没有特别准备什么技巧来对付瑞图？
没有吧，把防摔防好，然后做我自己的优势，我觉得就 OK 了呀。
I focus on my during my training camp. I focus on the takedown defense, and other than that, I do a lot of work on the wrestling skills. And so yeah, that's all the weapons I got. I got my stand-up fighting, so I just want to be, just like I said, I want to be flexible, just be improvised in the ring.
Our next question is from Amy Kaplan from Fansided. How long do you prepare for this fight? And how is your mental and physical state right now?
你准备这场比赛准备多久了？那你现在整个身体，就是你的身体的状况，跟你那个就备战的精神状态如何？
还不错，因为本来是最早我是3、4月份的时候接的比赛，然后本来是5月底打的嘛，然后那时候因为疫情就推迟到现在，所以中间可能会有一些难受，但是现在这次能成功的能来到新加坡，我觉得还是还是很激动的，就是所以可能会更好吧，状态上。
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this fight because I've been preparing for this fight since April. So yeah, it's a long time, like 3 months. And right now I'm in Singapore. So I just feel so happy that I can fly to Singapore to join the event. And right now my mental power, my physical power, I think it's at the peak because I prepare a lot and during the past 2 years, I've been preparing. So yeah, I'm doing good, pretty good, very good. I'm awesome right now.
That's wonderful to hear. We have a question here from Dylan Bowker of My MMA News. Dylan, the floor is yours.
Thank you for the time. I was just wondering about the Sanda base and that being a big part of the martial arts journey. I'm kind of wondering how important it is for Lin to showcase her Sanda skill set on a global stage, like one championship.
因为大家都知道你有散打的背景，那你觉得你这个散打对你的重要性在哪里？那你如何在这次比赛上面把你散打的功力表现出来？你觉得散打对 MMA 比赛重要性在哪？主要就这个问题。
在于灵活性和就速度会比对泰拳、踢拳会更快一些，会更灵活，就速度上啊，然后行动上啊，步伐上会更灵活更快。
Yeah, a Sanda is the kind of like a Chinese boxing, Chinese kickboxing. It's very focused on my punch and my kick, but it's a very speedy. It's speedy. It got a much of it's faster than Muay Thai, than other combat sports. So I think what Sanda really helps me is on my the flexible. I mean, when I know how to control my opponents by my leg, by my arm, by my punch, and I could be much speedy than my opponent.
Thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dylan. This next question is from Fight Game Asia. Rob Bellin with this question. With what you've seen from her, what do you think of Ritu's striking? And do you think it has improved from when she first started?
你观察瑞图的比赛，你觉得你刚刚提到说瑞图都是打地面比较好嘛？那你觉得他在打他的拳好吗？你觉得他有进步吗？他的拳够有力量吗？
还是有进步的，能看到进步的。就从他第一场比赛到最近的一场比赛，还是进步还是很大的，这个不用质疑。然后，但是我觉得，那对我来比的话，可能会稍微差一些吧。
Yeah, I can see Ritu's improvement on her striking power. She got heavier and heavier striking power after all this fight in one championship. But I have to say that I'm much powerful striker than Ritu. So yeah, sorry, Ritu.
What do you think of the women's atomweight division in one championship? And where do you think you rank among them?
你对于原子量级的看法怎么样？那你觉得自己应该排在第几名？
我对排名真的没有太大的看法，我一直都觉得做好自己就是。我接下每一场比赛，那我就好好去比赛。我觉得该是我的，最后肯定会是我的，所以我从来不担心排名啊这些，就一步一个脚印走嘛。
I think as for all atomweight fighters, they are very great fighters. Of course, they are great, so they are on the ranking list, right? But if you ask me about my ranking spot, actually, I don't really care about my ranking spot because I just want to enjoy the fight. I want to present every great fight to all my fans, to present present a good fight to one championship, so they can match me up to much powerful fighter next time. Like I said, I want to fight Angela Lee. So right now, I just want to focus on this fight, and what meant to be will meant to be.
One of the most popular female Chinese MMA athletes in one championship, the one strawweight world champion, Xiong Jingnan, is a Chinese athlete herself. Has Lin ever trained with Xiong Jingnan?
你对熊静南的看法如何？你对他熟吗？
还行，我俩关系还可以，就是他人也挺好的。然后他现在是56的金腰带嘛，然后他最近好像有比赛吗？然后也希望他能
之后才有比赛
是吗？然后也希望有机会，我希望也能能去56蹦跶。
Yeah, I know she's a very I have a very good relationship with Xiong Jingnan. She's great. She's really kind, and she cheers me up a lot during this fight. And I hope one day I can go to the Strawweight to fight her, because that's a good way to to fighters to present a good fight. Especially she's Xiong Jingnan, a world champion. So I'm looking forward to that day.
Is her success in one championship something you wish to emulate?
Sorry, could you ask that? Could you say your question again?
Of course. Is Xiong Jingnan's success in one championship something that she wishes to emulate?
OK. 这熊静南在one 的万冠军赛成功，你会想要复制一下吗？
可以啊，反正都要拿金腰带。
Yeah, of course. Of course, I want to get the champion. I want to get the belt. Yeah, that's my dream. I hope that dream come. I hope I can realize that dream.
Now, one more question about Xiong Jingnan before we move on. Xiong and Angela have had two very exciting bouts. Did you learn anything from those two bouts?
熊静南跟那个李胜珠之前有过2场很精彩的比赛，那你有观察过那2场比赛吗？那你有学到什么？那2场比赛你有学过什么吗？
我觉得熊静南的精神可嘉，就是他的意志力真的很顽强，我真的很佩服。然后李胜珠的话，他的技术真的就是还是很全面的，就是在他的柔术里真的是太强了，是有点强了。
Yeah, Xiong Jingnan has very great determination, but Angela Lee got a very great power too. It's a very good match. I hope one day I can fight the two girls. And I hope they got a rematch as soon as possible.
This next question is from Essentially Sports. In your mind, how do you win this fight against Ritu? And how do you beat her? And what is your early prediction?
这一次比赛你想要怎么样拿下比赛？那你预测这个比赛会怎么走？
我是希望尽早 KO 他吧。对。
I want to knock it out as soon as possible. This is my strategy.
We're going to move on to the next question. This one is from Fight Game Asia. This question is from Rob Bellin. Your eye is clearly on the belt. Did you follow Angela Lee's journey? And do you think you're ready to face the champion now? Or how many more fights do you think you have to go before challenging for the belt?
你非常想要打李胜珠嘛？那你觉得你必须要打几场比赛才有办法才有这个资格去打金腰带的挑战赛？
我不知道啊，这得看赛事方啊，就要看万冠军赛呀。看他们的安排，我做不了主。我当然是希望下一场就能跟李胜珠在擂台上干。
Yeah, I hope my next fight will be against Angela Lee. I hope it will be my next fight for the title shot, but it's all up to one. So so please give me the title shot as soon as possible.
Tell us about your preparation. Who have you been training with? How long has your camp been? And who are your main training partners?
这一次你在备战的时候有特别跟谁一起备战吗？
有，就是跟万刚签约的张立鹏。 对，我跟他一直有在训练，然后他也教会了我很多东西。
他有教你什么吗？
因为大鹏哥他的摔也很好，然后他会教我一些摔啊、防摔上的动作啊、技术啊。
Okay, I was doing my training camp with Zhang Lipeng, the new signee of One Championship. He's a good guy. We have a lot of fun during the whole training camp. I have learned a lot from him. He shows me a lot of wrestling skills and a lot of takedown defense.
Amazing. Lin, we're going to go to some rapid fire questions. So whatever comes to your mind, just answer. First question is, if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
如果你有一个超能力的话，你希望是什么？
啊，超能力啊，能变身的超能力吗？
你要什么？你要什么？
是真的能变身的超能力吗？
是随便，就是你想到第一个想到的，就是如果有超能力的话，你第一个想到是你希望有什么？
哆啦 A 梦。
I want to be the Japanese animation Doraemon. I got a lot of toolkit,
What's the first country you want to visit for holiday once the pandemic is over?
在疫情过后，你第一个想飞出国去玩的国家是哪一个国家？
我不想飞出国，我觉得中国挺好的。
Actually, I don't want to visit other countries. I just want to stay at home. I think China is really great. A lot of places I haven't been before, so probably just stay in China.
What's the one food you can't live without?
你最喜欢的食物，如果有哪一种食物是你觉得你没有办法离开的食物，你一定要吃到的？
一定要吃到的。
你也会喜欢哪一种？
我比较喜欢吃酸辣的，所以可能会火锅吧。
I like spicy food, especially spicy hot pot.
Oh, I love hot pots. If you weren't a fighter, what would you be doing for a living?
如果你不是格斗运动员的话，你觉得你现在会是在做什么？
跳舞。
I will be a dancer.
Now, what kind of dance?
你喜欢跳哪一种舞？
跳 hip hop。
and 还有什么？
街舞啊，因为我最开始就因为我从小时候其实就是在选择是练武术呢还是练舞蹈，最后选择了武术。
Yeah, I want to be a hip hop dancer, a street dancer, because when I was a little child, my parents asked me to choose two kind of sport. One is MMA and the other one is dancing. But I choose MMA.
Super cool. You can still do both.
Yeah, 他说你还是可以两个都做。
也精神有点跟不上。
I think it would be hard to do those because you want to be professional in MMA.
I understand it fully. We got one last question before we let you go. What compliment do people give you the most?
你觉得一般你收到最多的赞美是什么？
都觉得我不像我觉得挺对我是赞美的，就我不像练综合格斗的，就没有那么壮的身材啊，也没有那么那种很壮强壮的就体型啊这种。
Everyone is so surprised that I'm a professional athlete because they think I'm look cute. So yeah, after they see my muscles, they're also surprised. I think that's the biggest compliment to me.
I get that too. Thank you so much for your time, Lin. We look forward to all the action in the circle. All the best.
谢谢你，林和琴。希望你在当天比赛网上得到非常好的成绩。
Okay, thank you.
That was Lin Heqin. We have a change of schedule here. The number 5 ranked featherweight, Tayfun the Turbine Ozcan, who was scheduled to face Sitthichai Sitsongpeenong, has unfortunately been forced out of competition due to injury. We will now have next, joining us at 10:30, Leandro Ataides. Please stay with us. Welcome back to day one of the One Battleground Virtual Media Day. We just spoke to the MMA sister, Lin Heqin. We will have next joining us, Leandro Ataides, the multiple-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion. Leandro will be taking on the former two-division world champion, the Burmese Python, Aung. And what could be the #1 contender bout. How you doing, Leandro? So good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you too. So I'm good. So I'm so excited for this fight. So yeah, me here. I'm gonna put this on and make a big show for the fans.
Can you tell us how fight week has been going for you so far?
Sorry?
Can you tell us how fight week has been going for you so far?
So actually I was waiting for this fight such a long time. So for me it's like I'll be honored to fight to the former champion lá. So I'm really excited to do this. So to put the gloves on, to step in the mat. Actually, I'm so excited to do this fight. Of course. So we are the #1 contender for fighting now. So I feel so exciting.
Leandro, we have media from all over the world here ready to ask you questions. The first question will go to Dylan Bowker of My MMA News. Dylan, please go ahead.
Hey there, Leandro. I appreciate you making some time.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm doing well, man. How are you doing?
Good.
That's awesome to hear. I'm just kind of wondering with this fight here, being that you're a former middleweight title challenger within the promotion. And I mean, you're fighting the former middleweight champion here. Where do you think a victory here puts you in relation to getting another crack at the one middleweight title?
Sorry, you can say again?
I'm just wondering where you think a win here, being that you're fighting a former champion, like what does that do for getting a crack at the middleweight title?
So of course, so I mean they're on the right to be the champ. So of course, I'm super excited to do this fight against him. So he's a great fight. He's the former two-division champion. So just feel exciting. So I have to do my job and then show to everyone what I have to do.
Yeah, and also just as a quick follow-up, because you know your last defeat there was to Rainier de Ridder, but it seems like per some photos going around on social media that you've been training with him as of late, and he has a pair of victories over Aung pretty recently. Like, what insights have you gotten from Rainier de Ridder for this upcoming fight?
Yeah, I was with the Ridder, so I was just training for well. So I was in Netherlands now, so I moved to Netherlands. So and then I take advantage to train with him. So he's a nice and a great fighter.
Thanks so much for the time and insights, Leandro.
Yeah.
Thank you for your question. We have our next question here from Jesse Holland of MMA Mania. The question is this. Did you watch the two Aung versus de Ridder fights? And what did you think of those fights, particularly Aung's performances?
So for the first fight, I was super surprised because I didn't thought I was gonna finish like that, like so quick, fast, so just in the first round, because he's a champ. So I guess he makes some mistakes to don't believe on the Ridder ground game. And the second one, this is the fight I want to see from the first one, no? Like the second fight supposed to be the first one, because I like to see the 5 round how it's gonna be. So on the first fight I was just how so quick. And then the second fight I see he's put so much, he learned a lot from for the first mistake from the first fight. Then of course I have to watch because I'm gonna fight with them in the future. So the first fight I guess just a little bit disappointed, but I'm not super shocked. But the second one I get more exciting.
Thank you for that, Leandro. We have a next question here from Andrew Whitelaw. Andrew, please go ahead.
Hi, Leandro. Just touching a little bit on what was brought up earlier. Aung said that he thinks it's quite weird that you're training with Rainier because you almost beat him. What's your response to that? Do you think that's weird?
So I actually don't have any responsible to win, but of course I will win. I also really such respect for the champ, he ex-champion, but I can see his weakness, and then I can work on his weakness. So he don't have this greatness he have. So he don't think this fight gonna be easy for him.
Do you
Thank
see
you,
this
Andrew.
fight being a little bit more on the feet than his encounter with Rainier? I think he's expecting you to engage more on the feet. Are you quite comfortable with that?
Yeah, so that's why I can shock him, because I just don't know ground game. So actually I work pretty well on my strike game, and then he doesn't think it's gonna be easy to fight against me, strike with me, because I have the both games on the MMA. So I practice a lot striking. Then my background is BJJ. So wherever this fight goes, I guess I have advantage against him.
How pleased are you that this fight gets to happen now? Because you guys are kind of some OGs of the division. You guys have been around. This fight could have happened a long time ago, maybe 2018. So are you pleased that it finally gets to happen now?
So I cannot tell. So of course it's gonna be a nice show, but I'm planning to finish on the second round, and it's gonna be a nice show.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew.
Welcome. It's my pleasure.
This next question is from Fansided. How have you changed as a fighter since the last time we saw you?
So actually I don't change so much, because this is MMA. So MMA, everything can happen. So of course I always like to training the skills the things I don't make part of my game. So for example, I'm ground game, I'm BJJ background, but I like to striking a lot, and that's why I guess I can surprise him, because I like to try something that I don't know. No, of course I don't know, but this is not my background. And then I working a lot on my wrestling too, my boxing, my kickboxing, so I can surprise him.
This question is from Fight Game Asia of Rob Bellin. From Rob Bellin. What did the Ritter tell you about Aung La?
He said, so we don't have it anyway, so just take it now and submit him like I did. That's his word.
Very simple.
Very simple.
This next question goes to Jack Gottsell of Top South Sports. Jack, please go ahead.
Leon, Aung La and Song means so much to his country, and he is a hero there. And their country has gone through a lot lately. Does that add any pressure, knowing that he's going to come out motivated and fighting for his country?
Yes, of course. He's an icon for his country, but I have more motivation. Of course, it is a fight to have so many motivation to do this. So that's why I have so much more responsibility to fight against this big guy. But this is fight. This is MMA. So you're going to see good show. That's an important thing to do.
Do you have a prediction for how you see this fight finishing?
I like to try strike with him, because they say I'm no good in strike. Then I like to strike with him.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you for that question. This next question is from Tom Taylor of Bleacher Report. What do you think is Aung La's biggest weapon, and are you worried about it?
So actually, I'm worried about that, but he's have a big hand, like a strong hand and strong kicks. This I guess his strong things he have.
The winner of this bout could challenge the champion Rene de Ridder next for the title. After challenging or training with de Ridder, what has changed? Do you think you can beat him now?
So if you saw the last fight, I guess I win by, he'll win a little bit close, because if the fight was like you have to see, so everybody like more than 50% that thought I'll win this fight. So nothing changed. So I always keep my playing game, and we just have to do the business.
Do you consider the Ritter your friend now? And have you talked to him about fighting each other again?
Yeah, sometimes we talk, but they work for their own championship. So if they want to see our fight, have to fight. So we're not close friends, but we're talking a lot. So when he win, I send a message to him. When I get this is my little baby, he sent a lot of message to me. So we change message, but we have to do the fight. We're gonna do the fight.
Tell us more about that experience training with the Ritter. What was the decision-making process with going to train with the Ritter, someone that you had a history competing against?
He's a good fighter as well. So he's like to work on the weekend. He does. So for example, he did like a triangle choke on Anula, and then he couldn't finish. And then now he's feel, oh, I have to work on that. No, he got here. One of the guys like to work on the things he make a mistake. So yeah, so we learn a little bit from each other. So we are both from the BJJ. So just to share some few things, some few details. But it's really nice.
Who do you think is the better grappler, you or the Ritter?
So I'm a 5-time world champion.
That's all you need to say.
What else can I say?
This next question is from Tyrath. What do you think of Aung San as a fighter? How good is he, and how are you better?
So everybody can see he doesn't have a BJJ ground game. He doesn't have that. But he's a strong strike. He's a strong fight. That's why he's become a champion. But he doesn't have a BJJ game. So I know he trained with a lot of BJJ big guys. They're like a big name of BJJ. But his weekend is still in the grappling. So he doesn't know pretty well.
You spoke about having another son. Has that been a motivating factor for you for this bout as well?
Sorry?
You spoke about having another child, another son. Has that been a big motivating factor for you?
Yes, of course. So so all the things I do for now is all for my family. So I don't think about me anymore. So after you get a kids, you just think about them.
And tell us a little bit about your training camp. Where has that been, and who have you been training with?
So I was in Brazil first to solve something to my mom, and then I was trained with big names of the guys. So I did my with André Pederneiras. Also, I trained with my condition trainer is Alexander Ferreira, and then also I did rescue with Orlando. He's a national champion. And then I have some big guys I work too from the kickbox. Have him from my teammate Pietro, and then also my box game with Murilo. So we did a lot. We did a lot there. So we polished so many things.
Now you've moved from country to country, training with many gyms around the world. How has that experience been for you in helping you grow as a fighter?
So it's helping me do a lot, because in Brazil we have a lot of BJJ gyms. And then I moved, and then the first time I moved to Jakarta, and then I learned a little bit boxing, and then I moved to Singapore, and then I work a lot my Muay Thai game, and then I back to Brazil, working my wrestling, and then now I'm in the Netherlands, and then I work on my kickboxing. So it gives me a lot of experience for MMA.
Now, in the main event, you have Gaiyanghadao, the one strawweight Muay Thai world champion. You've been involved for a period of time. Have you trained with Sammy, and what do you think about that matchup between?
So actually, I didn't met with him in the Evolve, because the time I leave, and then he came. But I saw so many fights of him, and then he's a monster. He's a monster.
Give us a prediction for that one: Prajanchai versus Sammy.
The champ's gonna win.
This next question is from Essentially Sports. Varun Khanna with this question. Do you think your fight goes the distance, or is someone going to get finished?
Sorry?
Do you think this fight goes to the distance, or is someone going to get finished?
Someone's gonna get this.
And your
This
prediction,
fight
second round submission.
Yeah. So this fight cannot end on the third round. So we're gonna finish it before that.
Leandro, we're gonna go to some quick rapid fire questions now. So I'm gonna ask you a question. Whatever comes to your mind first, just shoot, okay? If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
My BJJ and then my knee.
What is the first country you want to visit for holiday once this pandemic is over?
Kuala Lumpur.
Why is that?
I was there before, so of course I don't like to be there. Just come in my mind. So I like to went to Bali. It's a nice place.
Yeah. Well, I'm in Bali right now. You're always welcome. Let me know when you come. What's the one food you can't live without?
Barbecue, churrasco. Brazilian barbecue.
Fighter, yeah, we got some good ones here. Let me know when you come. You got to come now.
Oh shit.
If you weren't a fighter, what would you be doing for a living?
I was like a CCTV technical in Brazil. So I did it before.
What is the compliment that people give you the most?
I improve a lot in my striking. And then also I become handsome. I'm just joking.
Leandro, thank you so much for your time. We wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
July 30th.
My pleasure. What's up?
What's up? Dear media friends, thank you for staying with us. For those of you just joining us, make sure to ask questions. Please raise your hand on Zoom. And when we call out your name and publication, you can then proceed to ask your question. We got one last athlete here before we end the day. Prajanchai PK.Saenchai Muaythaigym will be joining us shortly, so please stay tuned. Welcome back to day one of the One Battleground Virtual Media Day. We have one more athlete here before we close the show for day one. Prajanchai PK.Saenchai Muaythaigym will be joining us very shortly. Prajanchai will take on Sam A. Gaiyanghadao for the one Strawweight Muay Thai World Championship as the main event of One Battleground this July 30th. In the co-main event, we will have the former Division 1 world champion Aung taking on multiple-time Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion Leandro Ataides. Also on the card is the return of Victoria Lee. She'll be taking on Wang Luping. The Ghost Chen Rui will take on one championship newcomer Jeremy Pakatil from Team Lakai. That's going to be an exciting one. Also on the card, the Indian Tigress Ritu Phogat takes on Lin Heqin, who's also making a promotional debut. Lin Heqin is coming up a 12-fight winning streak, so that one's going to be an exciting one as well. Ritu Sawuda takes on Gustavo Ballard to round off Battleground Part 1. So excited to be here again with One Championship running the live shows. Can't wait for all the action. Just want to thank the media here for taking the time to join us and ask questions. And if you've just joined us, to ask questions, please raise your hands on Zoom. And when we call out your name and publication, you can then proceed to ask your question. Don't forget, tomorrow we have day 2 of the One Battleground Virtual Media Day as well. We will be joined by Victoria Lee, Ritu Phogat, Aung San, and the former two division champ Aung San, and the champion himself, Sam A. Gaiyanghadao. Joining us now is Prajanchai PK.Saenchai Muaythaigym. Prajanchai, thank you so much for joining us.
สวัสดีครับ
Sadikap. We'll be joined by a translator shortly as well. Prajanchai, you are now making your One Championship debut. Can you tell us how you're feeling? Are you excited? Are you nervous?
ฮัลโหลครับพระจันทร์ฉายสวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับพี่ครับสวัสดีครับ
ครับตอนนี้รู้สึกยังไงบ้างครับพระจันทร์ฉายกับการมาชกในวันแชมเปี้ยนชิพครั้งแรกครับ
ครับก่อนอื่นเลยผมก็ดีใจนะครับพี่ที่ได้เข้ามาเป็นนักกีฬาในรายการวันแชมเปี้ยนชิพครับแล้วตอนนี้ก็ดีใจมากๆครับดีใจมากครับที่แบบได้เข้ามาแข่งขันแล้วก็มีโอกาสได้ชิงเข็มขัดแชมป์โลกมวยไทยรุ่นสตอเวทกับพี่ถามเองครับ
There's a little bit of audio issue here with the translator.
First of all, I'm happy that I am able to join and debut in One Championship, and I'm glad I get the opportunity to fight for the belt with Sam A.
Prajanchai, we have questions from media all around the world now. I'm going to open the floor up, and our first question will go to Dylan Bowker of My MMA News.
Hey there, Prajanchai. I appreciate you making some time. I'm just curious here because, debuting in the one circle in a main event title fight, but heading into this, a multi-time Lumpini Stadium Muay Thai champion, held titles in gloved boxing as well. Where would the, one strawweight Muay Thai championship rank should you get the ideal outcome here in terms of just like total career accomplishments?
Sorry, could you repeat the later bit?
Yeah, I was just wondering, just with him coming in as a multi-time Lumpini Muay Thai champion, if he gets the ideal outcome, where would the one strawweight Muay Thai championship rank in his career accomplishments?
ครับพระจันทร์ฉายครับก็ก่อนอื่นเลยก็ครั้งนี้เป็นการชกครั้งแรกในวันใช่ไหมครับแล้วก็ได้ชกในเมนอีเวนต์ด้วยพระจันทร์ฉายเนี่ยก็อยู่ต่อยในเวทีของเวทีราชดำเนินหรือว่าลุมพินีมานานแล้วครั้งนี้เป็นการมาชิงแชมป์คิดว่าจะเป็นยังไงบ้างนะครับ
ผมรับรองว่าไฟล์นี้สนุกแน่นอนเพราะว่าตอนนี้ผมไม่ได้มีการกังวลอะไรใดๆทั้งสิ้นครับไม่ว่าจะเป็นการต่อยหรือว่าจะเป็นลูกกรงเหล็กหรือว่าเป็นเวทีผมไม่ได้มีความกังวลอะไรเลยครับผมรับรองว่าสนุกแน่นอนครับ
Said I have no I'm not nervous at all coming into this fight. I'm confident. It wouldn't make any difference in fighting back then, in fighting in the rope ring or in a cage. I guarantee that it will be a good fight, good fun fight.
Thank you, Dylan, for your question. This next question goes to Fight Game Asia and Rob Bellin with this question. Massive opportunity for you in facing the champion, Sam A. Gaiyanghadao. How ready are you for this world title opportunity?
ครับก็ตอนนี้พร้อมมากแค่ไหนครับกับการชิงแชมป์โลก
ตอนนี้สภาพร่างกายแล้วก็จิตใจผมพร้อมมากพร้อมมากๆครับ
So at the moment my conditioning and my mental game is on point. I'm ready to take the fight.
This next question is from YDT Sport. What is your biggest weapons?
ต่อไปนะครับอะไรคืออาวุธหลักๆหรือว่าอาวุธเด่นที่สุดของพระจันทร์ฉายครับช่วยเล่าให้ฟังหน่อย
อาวุธของผมเด่นๆเลยก็มีหนึ่งเลยจะเป็นอาวุธที่รวดเร็วครับผมแล้วก็มีแบบการออกเป็นชุดนะครับพี่คือ1 2 3 4 5นะจะคือทุกอย่างจะทำเป็นชุดหมดครับจะไม่มีคำว่า1 2หรือหยุดไม่มีจะมีคือต่อเนื่องเลยครับคือทำเป็นชุดๆให้เห็นให้เห็นชัดเจนครับว่าทำเป็นชุดครับ
So mainly my main weapon is my main thing is my speed, and what stand out the most is the combination. There won't be only just 1-2. My combination is gonna be fast, and it's gonna be explosive, and it's gonna be a lot of attacks continuously.
This next question is from Muay Thai Results. How do you plan to defend and counter the attacks from Sam A's left side?
ครับแล้วสำหรับการรับมือ 3A ครับคิดว่าจะรับมือการใช้หมัดกับการเตะของเขายังไงบ้างครับในไฟล์นี้
การรับมือการเตะซ้ายและต่อยหมัดซ้ายของพี่3Aใช่ไหมครับ
ใช่ครับ
ก็เราก็จะต้องเก็บอาวุธเขาครับแล้วก็ทุกอย่างต้องรัดกุมครับเพราะว่าการต่อยครั้งนี้มันเป็นการต่อยที่ไม่เหมือนกับทุกครั้งที่ผ่านมาคือหนึ่งจะเป็นนวมที่เล็กมากครับจะเป็นนวมที่เล็กมากมันมีการหลุดรอดได้ครับก็ทุกอย่างต้องรัดกุมครับแล้วก็ต้องเก็บแข้งซ้ายกับหมัดซ้ายของพี่3Aให้ดีที่สุดครับ
So everything had to be compact. I will have to defend all his deflect and defend all of his strikes from the left hand side. And this is my first time in the MMA glove, so meaning everything I have to be aware and on point and be very compact in defending the left hand side strikes.
Thank you for that. This next question will go to Jack Gottsell of Tops Off Sports. Jack, please proceed.
So you're a teammate of Tayfun Chai, and in his last fight, I think he became a candidate for knockout of the year. Do you feel any pressure trying to live up to your teammates' highlight reel knockout?
ก็ก่อนอื่นเลยก็พระจันทร์ฉายเนี่ยก็เป็นเพื่อนร่วมทีมคู่ซ้อมของตะวันฉายนะครับในไฟท์ที่ผ่านมาของตะวันฉายเนี่ยก็ไฟท์นั้นเนี่ยในวันอาจจะเป็นน็อกเอาท์แห่งปีเลยตอนนี้รู้สึกกดดันมากแค่ไหนครับที่จะต้องทำฟอร์มให้ดีกว่าเพื่อนร่วมทีมไหม
คือผมไม่ได้กดดันนะว่าผมจะต้องไปแข่งกับว่าผมจะต้องไปแข่งกับว่าผมต้องทำฟอร์มคือการแข่งขันเนี่ยผมว่าผมแข่งขันกับตัวเองมากกว่าพี่ผมไม่อยากไปแข่งขันกับคนอื่นกับคือถ้าเราเปรียบเทียบฟอร์มแล้วเราก็ไม่รู้ว่าเราจะชนะน็อกพี่3Aได้หรือเปล่าแต่คือว่าเราก็จะทำในไฟล์นี้ให้ดีที่สุดในหน้าที่บนเวทีให้ดีที่สุดครับพี่ผลจะออกมาแพ้หรือชนะเนี่ยเราไม่ได้สำคัญนะแต่คือว่าอยู่บนเวทีแล้วเนี่ยครับเราก็ต้องทำทุกอย่างให้ดีที่สุดครับผลจะออกมาสู้ถวายหัวครับจะชนะหรือแพ้นะครับเราก็แบบต้องสู้สุดครับถ้ามีโอกาสน็อกได้เราก็ต้องน็อกครับ
I don't want to compare my performance with teammate, but during this fight, it's gonna be a tough fight, and I know that it's gonna be. I don't know if I can get the knockout or not, but if I get the opportunity to knock out, I will take it and I will fight. I will put everything on the line for this fight and hope it will be. Yeah, I don't want to compare the outcome, but I will do my best.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
This next question is from FM99. How long did you prepare for the fight? And it seems this fight will be competed in the small gloves. How do you adapt yourself to use the small gloves?
ก็เตรียมตัวสำหรับไฟนี้นานแค่ไหนครับแล้วปรับตัวใช้เวลาปรับตัวมากน้อยแค่ไหนครับในการใส่มาชกนวมเล็กในครั้งนี้ครับซึ่งเป็นนวมMMAนวมเล็กครับ
สำหรับความเตรียมพร้อมผมไฟนี้นะครับผมเตรียมตัวมาประมาณ2 เดือนกว่าพี่ตั้งแต่โควิดผมก็ไม่ได้หยุดซ้อมนะพี่ผมก็ซ้อมทำร่างกายไปเรื่อยครับวิ่งทำร่างกายเลยครับผมก็สำหรับการปรับเปลี่ยนการฟิตซ้อมเนี่ยผมใช้เวลาแค่1 อาทิตย์ครับกับการใส่นวมเล็กซ้อมครับแค่1 อาทิตย์เท่านั้นครับ
หนึ่งอาทิตย์นี่คือพอทราบใช่ไหมครับหลังจากทราบว่าได้ต่อยในนวมเล็กก็คือปรับตัวมาใส่
คือรู้พอผมได้เซ็นสัญญาปุ๊บเนี่ยครับผมก็ลองใส่ซ้อมดูเลยครับ
อ๋อโอเคครับ
พอเซ็นสัญญาปุ๊บผมก็ลองใส่ซ้อมดูเพื่อแบบว่าเผื่อว่าเราจะได้เผื่อว่าในวันข้างหน้าเราได้ใส่นวมเล็กแบบนี้ครับแล้วมันก็ได้ใส่จริงๆครับมันก็เลยไม่ได้กังวลอะไรมากมาย
So this fight I prepared for about 2 months. Even though back then there was COVID situation, I still run and keep my body fit. So the span of 2 months and preparing with MMA glove, it's about 1 week after I got my contract. I just put on the gloves and tried it out, and then I trained in the glove until now.
This question is from Fight Game Asia and Rob Bellin with this question. Based on previous interviews, it seems Sam A thinks you are underestimating him. Do you think that's true?
ก็ในไฟล์นี้หลายๆคนก็คิดว่า 3A เนี่ยกำลัง3A เนี่ยกำลังไม่ได้มองว่าพระจันทร์ฉายเนี่ยอันตรายเหมือนกับคู่แข่งคนอื่นคิดว่าจริงไหมครับ
ไม่จริงครับผมว่าผมมีดีกว่าที่พี่3Aคิดแน่นอนนะครับ
Okay, he's saying that it's not true. I think I'm better than what Sam A thinks.
So this question goes to MGR Online. Please tell us what makes you different from the other fighters.
แล้วพระจันทร์ฉายช่วยเล่าให้ฟังหน่อยครับว่าอะไรคือจุดที่ทำให้พระจันทร์ฉายเนี่ยต่างจากนักชกคนอื่นครับ
ผมว่าด้วยความเร็ว1เลยว่าด้วยความเร็วของผมครับผมแล้ว2เลยผมว่าด้วยประสบการณ์และการผ่านมวยไทยนะครับผมว่าคนไทยกับคนไทยต่อยด้วยกันเนี่ยผมว่าต่างคนต่างมีประสบการณ์ครับมันทำให้แบบผมเชื่อว่าประสบการณ์ผมก็อาจจะประสบการณ์ผมทำให้พี่3A คิดหนักเหมือนกันครับ
I think first of all it would be my speed. Secondly, it would be my experience and a match between Thai fighters. Both of us has experience, and my experience, my wits in Muay Thai would be I would be a hard opponent for Sam A to handle.
You are 11 years younger than Sam A, but you have already competed in more than 400 fights, which is similar to Sam A. And I know you are confident in this fight, but tell us, how do you plan to win the belt?
ก็พระจันทร์ฉายเนี่ยอายุน้อยกว่า 3A ถึง11 ปีแต่ว่าจำนวนไฟท์เนี่ยต่อยมา400 กว่าครั้งนะครับก็อาจจะพอๆกันเลยแล้วคิดว่าใน ไฟนี้เนี่ยจะมีวางแผนว่าจะมาชกยังไงแล้วก็คิดว่าจะชนะได้ยังไงครับ
แผนของผมก็คือว่ามันเป็นแผนเนี่ยคือสภาพร่างกายด้วยที่เราสดกว่าพี่หนักเองก็อายุเยอะแล้วเราก็พยายามที่จะพยายามทำให้เขาเหนื่อยครับพยายามทำให้พี่หนักเองเหนื่อยคือเราต้องเดินชนพี่เอาเดินชนด้วยสภาพร่างกายที่เราหนุ่มกว่าสดกว่าครับ
So my plan is that first of all my condition and because of my age I think I'm fitter than him so he's older than me so he might get tired faster than me my plan is I will have to walk in aggressively use my body use my conditioning
This question is from Muay Sod. There are several times earlier that you have struggled against fighters who have a similar style to Sam A that are strong on the left kick. And are you worried about that?
ครับก็มีหลายๆครั้งที่การชกกับมวยซ้ายอาจจะเป็นปัญหาให้กับพระจันฉายหรือเปล่านะครับในไฟนี้มันส่งผลกับฟอร์มการชกไหมครับรู้สึกกังวลไหมครับกับการชกกับมวยซ้ายเหมือนกัน
ไม่ครับพี่ตอนนี้ผมพูดได้เลยว่าผมไม่ได้รู้สึกกังวลอะไรสักอย่างครับไม่ว่าจะเป็นการใส่นมเล็กหรือว่าเจอมวยซ้ายเจอมวยที่อายุเยอะกว่ากระดูกดีกว่าผมไม่ได้กังวลเลย
So no I'm not worried at all for the moment I can say that there is no worry at all in about using small glove fighting southpaws or fighting someone who's experienced like Sam A doesn't cause me any worries.
This next question will go to Dylan Bowker of My MMA News. Dylan, the floor is yours.
Hey there, I appreciate you making some time. I'm just curious because such a deep resume, around 400 Muay Thai bouts. I'm kind of wondering, where does Sam A Gaiyanghadao rank in terms of just the literal hundreds of opponents you fought in your Muay Thai career?
ครับก็จากสถิติจากที่พระจันฉายเนี่ยเคยชกมา400กว่าครั้งแล้วถ้าให้จัดอันดับ 3A ครับคิดว่าที่ 3A เนี่ยเขาถ้าให้พูดถึงว่าจากทุกคนที่เคยชกมาเนี่ยถ้าให้จัดอันดับเขาเป็นคู่ชกที่ถือว่ายากอันดับ1ไหมหรือว่าอยู่ในอันดับไหนครับจากที่เคยเจอมา
อันดับต้นๆแล้วพี่อันดับต้นๆอันดับ1เลยก็ว่าได้ครับเป็นอันดับต้นๆที่ผมผ่านมาเลยครับผมว่าพี่ตับเอเป็นมวยที่ต่อยยากมากเพราะว่าด้วยประสบการณ์ของเขาแล้วก็กระดูกมวยครับผมว่าเขาเป็นอันดับ1ครับ
โอเคครับ I would say he would be one of the top ranking for me or maybe in the number 1 ranking that I'll have to fight he's gonna be one that is very hard to handle and it's due to his experience and all he's been through.
And just as a quick follow-up question, if I could, because your opponent Sam A is, an acclaimed warrior across 2 sports, and similar sentiment can be extended to you. Acclaimed Muay Thai champion, held championships within boxing as well. Is there any kind of desire to compete within multiple combat disciplines in one championship, or just exclusively looking to compete within Muay Thai?
By claiming, you mean in boxing or?
Yeah, I'm just wondering if there's, I guess, the desire to concurrently compete in both Muay Thai and boxing, or just a sole focus on Muay Thai.
ครับข้อต่อไปนะครับก็คืออย่างคล้ายๆกับ 3A ครับก็คือเขาก็เคยเป็นต่อยในเป็นแชมป์มวยสากลด้วยหรือเปล่าครับแล้วถ้ามีโอกาสในวันแชมเปี้ยนชิพครับพระจันฉายสนใจจะต่อยมวยสากลด้วยไหมครับ
สนใจมากครับผมสนใจมากครับสากล ก็สนใจมากครับผมเพราะว่าผมก็คิดว่าผมมีประสบการณ์พอที่จะต่อยสากลได้ครับเพราะก่อนหน้านี้ผมก็ได้ต่อยสากลมาหลายไฟต์ทั้งสมัครเล่นทั้งอาชีพครับ
I'm very interested if there's an opportunity. I'll be interested because I think it's a good opportunity and back then I had already had fights in whether amateur boxing or in professional boxing.
Awesome. I appreciate the insights and thanks for the time, guys.
ครับขอบคุณนะครับ
What do you think are Sam A's strengths and weaknesses as a fighter?
คิดว่าอะไรคือจุดแข็งแล้วก็จุดอ่อนของ 3A ครับ
จุดแข็งของพี่3Aก็เป็นนักมวยที่มีประสบการณ์เยอะแล้ว2แล้วมีแข้งซ้ายหมัดซ้ายที่หนักหน่วงและรุนแรงมากครับแต่จุดอ่อนพี่3Aก็มีอยู่หลายจุดนะครับเช่นอย่างแรกเลยคือโดนปลายคางไม่ได้
So his strength is that he's got experience and he's got the left kick which are powerful. But his weakness, there is many points to his weakness. One of them is that his chin.
Give us your predictions for this fight.
คิดว่าในไฟล์นี้จะเกิดอะไรขึ้นครับน้องเดาหน่อย
เกิดอะไรขึ้นนะพี่ผมก็ไม่
ลองผลคิดว่าผลจะออกมาเป็นยังไงครับ
ผลคู่นี้สนุกแน่นอนผมไม่รู้ว่าใครจะมันอยู่มันต้องมีจุดหนึ่งที่พลาดนะครับแล้วมันจะเป็นจุดแล้วจุดนั้นเนี่ยครับจะเป็นจุดที่พลิกผันครับผมเชื่อได้เลยเพราะว่าพี่3Aต้องมีดีแน่นอนไฟนี้ผมว่าต้องมีดีเหมือนกันครับต้องมีดีเลยพี่จะมาแก้ไขมันจะต้องปรับเปลี่ยนจากการต่อยในทุกๆไฟท์แล้วครับทุกคนมันต้องปรับเปลี่ยนมันต้องมีลูกอะไรที่เสริมมาแน่นอนครับผมว่ามันต้องมีจุดหนึ่งครับที่พลิกผันเกมนี้ครับ
Okay, I think it would be this fight would be very entertaining, and there might be a point which one of us makes some errors. The errors will be game changing. I believe in it. I believe this would happen because me and him, we both have greatness in us, and you know that every fight we improve and we change. We have new things to show. But I believe that there is some point in the game where one of us makes an error or something. This would be game changing.
One last question before we let you go. If you win this bout, who do you think should challenge you?
ข้อสุดท้ายนะครับพระจันทร์ฉายถ้าในไฟนี้ชนะและได้เป็นแชมป์คิดว่าใครจะเป็นผู้ท้าคิดว่าใครเหมาะสมจะเป็นผู้ท้าชิงครับ
สำหรับผู้ท้าชิงเนี่ยเราจะเป็นคนไปตั้งเองไม่ได้พี่มันเรื่องนี้นะผมให้เป็นหน้าที่ของโปรโมเตอร์ทางรายการวันแชมเปี้ยนชิพนะครับเพราะว่าเราไม่มีสิทธิ์ที่จะไปตั้งแล้วว่าคู่ต่อสู้ของเราต่อไปเป็นใครเราจะต้องเอาใครมาชิงแชมป์กับเราไม่สามารถที่จะเลือกได้นะครับปล่อยให้เป็นหน้าที่ของโปรโมเตอร์ทางรายการวันแชมเปี้ยนชิพด้วยครับ
I think that this would be for the promoter, which is one championship. We'll have to handle this on who will be the one that will fight with me in the future if I got the belt.
Thank you again, Prajanchai, for your time today with the media. We wish you all the best this July 30th.
ครับขอบคุณนะครับพระจันทร์ฉายก็สื่อทุกคนก็ขอให้วันที่30นี้ประสบความสำเร็จนะครับ
ขอบคุณครับ
ครับขอบคุณครับ
Dear members of the media, that interview wraps up day one of our Battleground virtual media day. We've heard from some of the world's top martial artists, and tomorrow for day two, we will have Victoria Lee, Ritu Phogat, the former 2 division world champion Aung Sang, as well as the one strawweight kickboxing and Muay Thai world champion himself, Sam A. Gaiyanghadao, joining us. So please join us again tomorrow for day 2 of the One Battleground Virtual Media Day. Thank you for taking the time to join us and ask questions. If you need further information on the athletes or the event itself,